Mr. Ashish Jain, Director of the Indian Pollution Control Association. Mr. Jain, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Urmi, and thank you, Kamal, Akram, for organizing such a important conference today and bring all the stakeholders to one platform so that we can discuss. Plastic is a big issue nowadays, not limited to India. It's a global issue nowadays, and we are getting this sense because we have international speaker also in our previous sessions, and they are also talking the same line which we are talking in everyday lives. So plastic is a issue, and I think plastic means our behavior is more as a subject of discussion rather plastic, because we consume plastic and then we dispose in an appropriate manner, and then plastic become a problem, and those littered or uncollected plastic cause pollutions in different way: air pollution, water pollution, and soil pollution. And to control all these kind of issues, government of India brought some rules and regulations, and it's not new rules regulations. It coming from 1990s, and so there is a gradually evaluations of rules, regulation, terms, conditions, and involvement, responsibility of different stakeholders. So by 2016, first time the producers, brand owners, importers brought up in the stakeholders and given them a responsibility to develop a collection back mechanism for the post-consumer plastic waste introduced into the Indian market, so that we can collect more, we can segregate more, and we can bring those collected plastic waste to the recycling industries or to the co-processing industries, and so that we can have clean environment and healthy or sustainable environments. Because but my apprehension that we took these regulations in different understanding, so different stakeholders misinterpret these kind of rules regulation, and that's a very unfortunate part of current scenario. I believe I was involved in designing the first EPR projects, and we executed first EPR project in India, and we developed the methodology how to implement EPR. And we care was the first consortium, which I was part of that consortium in designing, developing, and executing the first EPR plan. And the original intention of doing EPR is to strengthen the collection, segregation of litter plastic, because that's the original problem. We consume different products, and we littered or we dispose um, post-consumer plastic or other products in an appropriate manner, and
Recording stopped.
that's cause a issue. So we design
Recording in
EPR,
progress.
we design EPR action plan to strengthen the collection. We reach to the rack pickers, we reach to the different consumers of plastic, educate them, trying to bring behavioral change toward the plastic waste, and trying to develop a sustainable supply chain for these kind of waste. There were some plastic items which were not collected earlier. Before 2018, there were no collection of MLP. There was no recycling or co-processing of MLP. So after our efforts of executing first EPR, Ministry of Environment brought amendment to the rules, and they allow use of MLP with the condition that if MLP can be co-processed or used as alternate source of energy, then brand owner producer can use MLP. But now the co-processing is not the solution to MLP. There are a lot of innovation happened in last 4 or 5 years, and now MLP can be used for upcycling, recycling. It can be used for road construction. We also set up a recycling plant in Delhi NCR, and we are making very beautiful product for MLP and other low grade plastic. We are making boards, and that can be used in different applications in automobiles, construction. You rightly highlighted the main cause of the entire problem, because it's a responsibility of producers, brand owners, importers to develop the collection back mechanism for the equivalent quantity of plastic waste introduced by them through the sale of their product into Indian market. And they don't have the expertise of developing this kind of supply chain. So they are carrying forward their responsibility to some agencies like us and like other panelists. So these are the people who have a better understanding of waste management system. They have better understanding of the supply chain, recyclability, segregation, who are the people who can collect those plastics. So the producer brand owners mostly now means initially I am talking about they have no idea how to collect, how to develop system, who are the key stakeholders, who are the recyclers. So they have no idea. Now, after doing lots of brainstorming and after involving those stakeholders to many important discussion, they have a pretty good idea. Means now they give good input in selection of stakeholders. They also part of various discussion with governments, and they also brought out their experience in making the policy, and their input also being considered by the government and other policymakers. But the real challenge, but mostly 90% of the case, brand owners or producers are considered as a financial uh, tool. They just fund the mechanism and the execution being done by some other agency, maybe by the
Right.
ULB or maybe by the WMA. And that's the major gap in executing EPR or interpreting EPR in a right way. It is started with the collection of MLP and channelizing into the co-processing, but nowadays most of the WMA or PRO are satisfying EPR responsibility by collecting RDF material from the dump yard by involving ULB. So I think this is the very unfortunate part that we are compensate our EPR responsibility by collecting RDF from the dump yard and disposing that RDF to the co-processing unit like cement industry. So there is no link between EPR and circular economy. Through circular
Okay.
means by disposing your collected waste to cement industry, there is no point of talking on circular economy.
No.
Circular economy means you collect something which is littered or which is uncollected and bring to some good supply chain, make some good products.